Good afternoon. Welcome to Connecting Claresholm. It's Friday the 13th. We're taking extreme precautions here at the show to not disrupt the superstitious balance of the day because it is Friday the 13th. So we didn't even have an opening today.
I thought you were going to sing the opening. I thought that's what you told me before we started.
Well,
I thought you were.
It turns out I looked it up. That's bad news.
That's bad luck.
It's similar to like a black cat or something. Singing the opening was one of the. It's not as popular. Not a lot of people know about it, but you never sing the opening.
Right.
So we also started a couple minutes after noon, so we just avoided starting right on the hour. I don't know. There's a lot of things that you can do on Friday the 13th to keep yourself from casting a spell accidentally or creating some bad luck.
Well, you know what I think would actually is going to be good luck is we have Candace joining us again today.
Yeah, Candace is on the show.
So usually that will counter any bad luck.
That and magnesium are the two things.
Magnesium. That's right. That's
Which
right.
will make sense in the show later on when we talk about magnesium.
We had a lot of on the radio show this morning. We had a lot of course, Friday the 13th references. There was one thing I was reading about superstitions in other countries. Things like it's bad luck to wish somebody a happy birthday before their birthday actually comes.
Oh,
so you have to wait till I think it's in Germany or something like that. You have to wait till midnight to celebrate somebody's birthday, and if you do it a minute before midnight on their birthday, then it's bad luck.
You've ruined their year. Isn't that funny?
You've ruined their year. Yeah.
Wow, I didn't know that one.
Yeah.
Are you a superstitious person?
Not at all. Not at all. In fact, I'm so not superstitious. I haven't started to grow my playoff beard before playoffs a year in advance so that my team will win.
That should have tipped me off. I loved the line in The Office of when someone asked Michael, "Are you superstitious?" and he said, "Not really. I'm just a little stitious."
That's right. I'm a little stitious. Yeah.
I think sports brings out superstition for sure in people.
Oh, absolutely. What do you think is the most superstitious sport?
Soccer. I think it's soccer.
Think so? Really? Soccer?
So. I think Europe, like a few friends of mine that are their families are from other places in Europe. There is some interesting like things that you should do, even like touching certain objects and surfaces and. I think sports in general has goalies and hockey have a certain degree of superstition ritual.
Yeah.
But I think soccer might be. I could be wrong. If someone's listening and disagrees, please put it in the comments. But yeah, I think soccer comes with some pretty interesting like. And if you're a Leafs fan, I don't think you can help it. I think you just got to take it all. Burn sage, buy a orange cat, whatever you got to do. Throw a watermelon off your balcony, whatever you think is going to help your team. But I think when you get into those moments with sports, the superstition comes out. You're like, don't wash that jersey. Don't sit in that seat.
We were talking about, and this is a reminder, I have to get on my getting entered in and registered for our hockey pool.
Hockey pool, yeah.
So the draft is coming up here at the end of the month, right? And I think that if anybody wants to touch the beard for good luck, then I might charge a little bit for it, but
I think you might find some money in that beard. I think that might happen to you.
You think if I shake it enough, you think something might fall out?
Yeah, it's possible. It's possible. I don't know. Could be good luck, good superstition luck.
Yeah. Do you want to ask since Candace is here? Do you want to ask her about her superstitions and stuff?
I'm gonna guess she's not particularly superstitious, but I could be wrong. But let's bring her in because we got a couple things to talk about today.
Okay, let's bring her in, and then you had a story here as well. So Candace, let's bring you in.
Hi.
Real Strength Gym joining us again today. So so we were talking about superstitions and Friday the 13th and stuff. So what have you got? Have you got anything that do you have any rituals or anything like that? When you get in the morning before you work out, do you kiss the monkey or something?
Kiss the monkey.
Yeah.
I incidentally I grew up playing hockey, and there's a lot of kind of hockey sports superstitions. But mine was everything had to go on my left side first. So like left skate, right skate.
Oh.
Left shin pad, right shin pad.
Interesting.
I've been working on putting on my right shoe first for a number of years, but in my head the world will end. So I always put my left shoe on first. So
you might have a disorder, actually. I don't know if that might be
it could fall into compulsion, but I mean, who doesn't have a few things?
We've all got something, Candace.
That's
now
it.
that I think about it, like I think I probably get dressed in a certain. I think we all kind of do things in a certain order, and
Yeah.
if you were asked to do them out of order, it might feel really strange.
It's very uncomfortable. Yeah,
Yeah.
to try and change your habits and your patterns. And I mean, I have put my right shoe on first and the world hasn't ended yet. So it's
Mm.
a
I
little reassuring
I
that
prefer at this point, just with the way of the world, if you could continue to do the left shoe first, it might actually be holding us all together. So I'm going to
it's really
advocate that you
less.
continue to do that.
It's
Ken, if you're
all down to my shoes. Yeah.
Yep.
you're a few steps ahead of me, forgive the pun, because if I just leave the house with shoes on at all,
Yeah.
then I'm
Totally
ahead of
in.
the game. Oh yeah,
Sometimes we don't
I'm
even
doing
get
good. I'm
shoes.
having a good day.
Hey, look, they
That's
match
it.
and they fit.
Yeah,
That'd be awesome.
that's right.
Speaking of patterns and whatnot, we were talking this week. We have our weekly. We're doing this a bit earlier in the show because it's a bit of a shorter show today. We were talking in the week about the seasons. The seasons are changing. We're kind of feeling like we're coming out of this the summertime into fall. And you had asked me about if I am affected by the change in the season, which I think I definitely am. I think a lot of
Yeah.
people are.
Mhm.
And it's a real thing. I think that was what we wanted to sort of get into, that the idea of having your general well-being, your mood, your mindset affected by not so much the weather, but the change in season, and maybe it's the pressure or the temperatures, is a real thing. And so we don't have to necessarily live with that and just accept it. It turns out there's things we can do.
True story.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what first of all, I guess, like seasonal affective disorder, how would you sort of categorize that if someone's feeling the effects of that? What does it feel like?
You're typically it's your standard depression feelings, loss of interest in activities. You maybe are a little bit more sedentary, depending on the degree. Your appetite changes where we either don't want to eat or we overeat, or the foods we reach for are not the healthiest. So our sugars, really high fat, overly processed, fast foods. We kind of are easy to be stressed out. We feel sad, we're distracted, and then we run into those depression feelings of, you know, worthlessness, helplessness, lonely. And it's funny, while I was researching this, 15% of Canadians end up affected by some sort of seasonal affect disorder within their life. And on
Wow.
an average of reported cases of depression, people who suffer from depression year round, it's seasonally, it increases by 10%. So during, you know, our fall winter months, it will be worse for 10% of the population who suffers from depression. Um, that being said, not everyone reports depression. A lot of people just go with it. It's only been, especially since COVID, we have so much more mental health awareness, and depression isn't a bad word anymore. So, and just the growing awareness is really nice to see. So,
That's interesting. I mean, 10%'s a lot. That's a big number.
yeah.
That's a big
And
number.
So
and that's
Alec,
for COVID cases. So,
Mhm.
Alec was talking about a friend. You said a friend of yours. No, we were talking about mood changes, and on
Oh,
Friday the 13th.
yeah. A friend of mine had a colleague years ago who would not come into work on Friday the 13th. He wouldn't go out. He wouldn't he wouldn't do anything. He was just it was like a neutral day for him where he wouldn't engage with people. It sounds great.
yeah.
Doesn't that sound like fun? But yeah, he was quite superstitious about it. But it's interesting because there is some overlap a little bit of like, ritual and things that we do and habits. And I think a lot of times people can get into this part of the year and just kind of anticipate feeling a certain way and might just go,
Yeah.
it's just how I am. It's stressful. It's like Thanksgiving's coming and there's family and there's food and Christmas and it's crazy. Um,
Yeah.
I personally have found if I don't take like vitamin D every day, it does
Yeah.
make a difference. Now, we'll
Hmm.
disclaimer this by saying we're not going to give anyone medical advice. And if you are thinking about doing something, maybe check with a doctor or someone who's smarter than the three of us put together before you rush out and go and buy a boatload of vitamin D, because too much of anything is not a good idea. But typically, we probably are a little bit deficient in things, especially in this part of the world when we live in, sort of more darkness through November, December, January than we do in the summer. So what are some things people could research and at least educate themselves on, and then take that forward to a professional to say, hey, am I maybe lacking in something?
Definitely lacking in D. It's the lack of sunlight or loss, right? So normally we get home from work and we have sunlight until 11, and all of a sudden winter hits and we have sunlight until 5.
Yeah.
So we're not going outside, or it's too cold to go outside. Um, so we could look at different things like light therapy. But when you feel that dramatic shift in mood and we just attribute it to, oh, it's the winter blues, there are a ton of things you can do. And talking to your doctor would be step one. There's a ton of vitamins that help with everything from like balancing your sleep cycle. Part of the loss of sunlight is we lose that circadian rhythm in our sleep. So melatonin might help with that, but it's going in and talking to a professional and saying, this is what I'm experiencing. Can we try, some supplementation? There's also great options with aromatherapy and essential oils, and a lot that lift moods. We have a really great apothecary here, in Claresholm, Ruby from One Earth, who has pre-made blends, or if there's scents that you like. She has everything that you can create your own, and she is amazing. And if you need something, she can usually whip it up. She's kind of magic.
Mhm.
We have great mental health facilities. We have a clinic that doesn't charge anything. We have at the doctor's office, there's also psychiatrists, psychologists. There's a somatic therapist as well. So kind of working your body in a different way for therapy.
What
Um,
is that? I've not heard of that.
so it's like a mind body connection. So like tapping and dancing and movement as a way to kind of, change our mood and change our way of being. We have really great people to keep us active. So we have a couple of gyms, which is exciting. There's a few yoga instructors at the social center, at Home Studio Home. She also does Mia, which is a dance therapy, which is really cool.
Mhm.
There's indoor walking starts, so you can go walk at the community center and connect
Yeah.
with FCS. There's another wonderful lady in our community who does drumming circles, and I believe they're Friday nights at FCSS, and I don't think there's a charge, but it's another like release therapy.
Mhm.
So it's just being an active participant and choosing to be mindful of your mood, and if they're lower, I don't have to live with that. There's a ton of other things I can do to boost my moods,
Yeah.
which is exciting. So
That's an excellent list of resources.
So
I know.
when you were mentioning your friend there that had the superstition,
Mhm.
coincidentally, this morning on the show, we had we were talking about superstitions and people staying home, just like you had said.
Mhm.
So we were talking about the same thing. And so it said, the article that we were reading here says, those afraid of Friday the 13th experience different symptoms ranging from mild anxiety to complete panic attacks. Many avoid going to work, traveling, or making big purchases. Now, this is a US based study that they did. I think it was a US based study. It said, in fact, US businesses lose about $900 million on Friday the 13th because
Really?
people are staying home. Yeah. The study by the Dutch Center for Insurance Statistics revealed that there are fewer traffic accidents, though,
Yeah, because people are staying home. So
because they're staying home. Yeah. On Friday the 13th. So with people staying home, there's some positives here. So there's fewer traffic accidents. The number of fires and thefts reported is much lower.
wow.
And for the brave, today may prove to be extremely lucky, as retailers are often offering discounts to encourage
Right.
people to come and shop. So
So it's a good one. It's a good one.
yeah. So there's always the good with the bad, right?
What if Black Friday for
Mhm.
shopping fell on a Friday the 13th?
What? So I think that that's the only time they should have Black Friday is if it falls on a Friday the 13th,
There would be
or
like,
every Friday the 13th is a Black Friday.
Because
right?
it wouldn't necessarily be in November, right? It could be like
That's right.
in September, or
Yeah.
it could be in April. You
Yeah.
never know.
That's right.
Right.
And I saw a post, and I hope everyone doesn't. I hope we've stopped falling for this. It was a post that basically said, Halloween this year for the first time in 666 years is on Friday.
Oh, geez, I saw that too.
That Halloween will never be on the 13th. Anyway, but again, there's a culture here of suspicion. So we it's a bit of fun. Hopefully nobody's actually believing that it's going to fall on Friday the 13th. Candace, we were talking too, if Friday the 13th is getting you down, or just the season, the other thing to look at again with a professional is magnesium.
Yeah.
And man,
Yeah.
I thought there was one. Isn't there just
No.
one magnesium? Isn't it just a magnesium? Are you
No.
telling me there's more than one?
There's
Candace is
13.
13.
13. Of course, there's 13.
What?
There's 13 different kinds of magnesium, and they all kind of do different things. And from what I remember,
Yeah.
if you take some at night, it can help you sleep. It can do a lot of things, but it's something to check out to do a bit of research.
So this
Yeah,
this lucky number 13 seems to be coming up again.
it is. It's
So-
a theme today. It's a theme today.
Yeah.
It's really interesting. Actually, vitamin D helps you uptake magnesium. So
Yep.
there's another reason to take vitamin D. I think as a whole, on average, I think we're all vitamin D deficient, and that's just a generalization. Because the reality is we work more indoors than say 100 years ago, right?
Yeah.
But it's interesting. There's literally a magnesium for everything. So even people type 2 diabetes, there's a magnesium that regulates blood sugar. A very different one for gut health and a very different one for muscle relaxation. There's one for brain health, which also is that version of the magnesium is on the recommended list when we get our seasonal affect to take. Sorry, it's Theranos, and it's brain health, helps the nervous system. So just kind of, again, boosting the mood. So it's actually really interesting. There's some all-around ones that kind of cover more than one basis, but if you know specifically what you want to try, look into magnesium. For me, I use a topical one for muscle recovery quite a bit, and again, Ruby at One Earth makes a really great one. And it's kind of magic, so it's a little bit of, I'm sore, so it helps.
Yeah, I bet. And Kurt here was saying, I think he might be a little
Is
bit.
this a new show coming up?
Yeah, he was talking about magnesium PI, but I think it's the wrong show. So I think he maybe it's a good one. I like that magnesium PI. That's pretty good. But again, something to check out on your own to find out what might work for you. And it's a good time of year to do it because we're not quite into those days of fall and the days really start to feel shorter, but we're getting there. And it's funny. I'd say about 6 months ago, I had this thing where I just had about a week where I couldn't get any. I was tired. I couldn't get it going. And I realized on Friday, I said to Annalisa, I've been taking I wasn't looking, obviously. I bought some vitamins. You know what I'm going to say. I thought I was taking vitamin D. I was taking melatonin. You want to mess up your day, take like 3 or 4 melatonin first thing in the day, thinking you're getting a good dose of vitamin D. They looked very similar. Obviously, I wasn't paying super close attention, but I was taking essentially melatonin, and it wasn't straight melatonin, but it had like sleepy stuff in it, that and tryptophan. Taking that at 8 o'clock in the morning, your day is not going to go well. It was the opposite effect. When I realized, I felt a lot better. So also make sure you're reading labels before you go and start taking your vitamins, because they do make a difference. You can get them.
Right.
If you get it wrong, you're gonna know it's gonna have the opposite. It's gonna have the opposite effect.
You're just like every man doesn't read the instructions.
No. I was like, I can just figure this out. I can just do this. Let's take this right now.
That's what you should be doing when you ingest things.
The bottle's the same color. It's fine.
Yeah,
I hope you got some good naps that week, though. That's just a recipe for some really great naps.
Yeah, no, it was kind of a non-negotiable for sure.
Hey, I've got a question for you, Alec. Last week we were talking about with Candace cold showers.
Yeah.
Just wondering, how's that going?
I was just going to bring that up. Yeah.
Still cold.
Okay.
So this morning was actually a little bit more of a bite because, and I'm not sure how this is going to go in the wintertime, but in the summer, turn on the cold and getting in, and it's not freezing cold because you've still got the water in the pipes is still sort of warm in the ground, I think. Today was a little different. It got colder quicker, but I still stuck it out. And if you ever want to feel like you're living in the moment, go do that first thing in the morning. But no, so far so good. Still hammering away every day, sort of 3 minutes, and the key is not to turn it to warm. You get out when it's done, and then you can have your heater on or whatever, but then your body's got to do the work of warming up.
Are there any girly screams that come out of your shower at that time when you're doing that? I can only imagine there are. I can only imagine the family is down doing their thing, and all they're hearing is these like, high shrieks.
No, not anymore. Now that I do it early enough that no one's up yet. Um, it's that's a good question though, Dave. There are girly screams other times when I'm doing other things,
Oh yeah,
so you never really know. But no, it's a whole
Totally.
breathing thing, and it's yeah, it's
we'll
not
try to
like
capture. We'll try to capture Alec in his natural habitat while he's
girly screams.
girly screaming.
Sound.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's no, it's going well. So I'm sticking with it. Like I said, it's I think it's going to get a little more of a challenge as we get into the colder months because you don't the last thing you want to do in December or February is get in a cold shower. But we'll see. I'll be honest about it. We'll see how it goes. If it's still, I feel like it can get colder. I don't think I've actually hit peak cold. I think the coldest it is today is not going to be the coldest it is in like February. I think when it's minus 30, I think it's going to feel a little bit different. But we'll see. We'll see how it goes.
Kurt,
What I've been reading about going into cold weather and using cold therapy is you hypothetically, I'd be really interested to see like in January when it's supposed to be really cold, if you feel you're less sensitive to cold because of the cold therapy.
I'm wondering that. Like it's a bit like if you're surrounded by Maple Leafs fans, you become less sensitive to like just one Maple Leafs fan. I think it's the same kind of thing. I think it's the
That
same.
exposure therapy,
We'll
distress
find out.
tolerance.
Yeah.
We'll find out. It's definitely easier today than it was at the beginning. Like when you first start, it's not easy.
See, when you say that, it makes me want to start less, So I just
Yeah.
don't, because you said it was horrible and I believe you.
Yeah, no, the reward, but it's funny because it's not. If you start today and in a month from now you're like, this is a piece of cake. It's not any colder today. It's just your body is like you're just not used to it is all, and so you have to get over the.
I mean, you said it was going to get worse because it gets colder out. So I'm getting,
No, it's gonna be terrible.
He's backtracking now. He's trying to. He's realizing he's discouraging you from doing something that maybe you want to do, and so he's going, "Oh no, sorry, I said that kind of the wrong way."
Yeah, you're not gonna like it, but it's getting over. It's kind of like I think it's like anything. If you're fasting or you're doing anything difficult, there is a point where once you cross a certain threshold, then you're fine.
Yeah,
and so it's not like you're not suffering the whole time. You just have to get over the initial sort of mild shock, and then you're good, and then it's fine. And then it's great.
It's true. I cut out white processed sugar, I don't know, 8 weeks ago.
Oh wow!
And my family for the first couple of weeks, they did not like me at all.
Right.
And now we're fine. Yeah, we're friends again, so it's good. But it's that initial big change is
to temper the cold. I take a donut in the shower and I just eat that. I don't think that's maybe a good idea. I just eat as much processed food as I can in the cold shower. But yeah, it's like any change you're making, right? Especially if you're trying to do like a short burst of something intense that's good for you. At first, it will be no different than going to a sauna. You probably aren't going to last for that long, and then you can extend your time out a bit. So
exactly,
yeah, I think it's
so we did have a comment that came in from Kurt here, and it was back when we were talking about reading or not reading instructions.
Yes,
he said instructions. Poof, they also end extra nuts and bolts. So
yeah, it's true. I don't.
So
I don't never read these. The first thing you throw is the instructions.
You don't need to read the instructions on all the extra nuts and bolts.
No. There's just extras. They just threw an extra.
They just threw those extra ones in just to confuse you. So
they know you're going to run out. So I'm going to jump to the news here about what's going on in Claresholm. Speaking of nuts and bolts, we will next week. We're going to be talking with Melissa today, but she was unable to make it, from the food bank. So the food bank is having a drive coming up tomorrow. Everyone should be getting a black bag on their doorstep. I believe it's tomorrow. And but there are some pictures now. This is really important because Megan had shared some photos from the food bank, and this is kind of where we're at right now. The shelves are relatively empty, and they're coming into a very busy time of year. Obviously, with Thanksgiving is not that far away, and then Christmas is sort of on its heels. So there's a food drive going on, I believe, this weekend. You can also donate if you wanted at the local press. They take donations. And then keep an eye out at IGA because they'll often do hampers where you can just buy like a food bank hamper at the till as well. So when you do get the black bag, make sure you fill it, leave it out. We want to get our food bank, full again because it's an important part of the community and really really important because it comes from obviously donations. So we'll be talking to Melissa next week a little bit more about that. Also, coming up on October 1st, this is from the Soup Bowl. They're going to be doing their Thanksgiving meal on October 1st because Thanksgiving is not that far into October after that. And so just be sure to keep an eye out for the Soup Bowl, and you can join them. A couple weeks ago, we had Jennifer Mackin on the show as well, talking about billet families, and they're still looking for billet families for the Claresholm Thunder Junior A hockey team, and you can reach out to her. Information's at the bottom of the poster if you look for that on Facebook. Just one thing to sort of mention about the billets as well. It's different than when we talk about homestay families with Livingston Range. Often when they're doing the homestay program, you're taking that kid with you. They're going with you if you're going on vacation or you're planning trips. You're kind of expected to give them an experience of living in southern Alberta. With the billets, you're more or less just providing them like a safe place to be. They're on the ice Monday to Thursday. If they're in school, they're doing half days, and then they're at the arena, and then they have games Friday, Saturday. So it's a little bit of a different relationship that you'll have with the players. But if you are interested, definitely reach out to Jen and let her know. And
I think they said that like in regards to Kurt's comment there, I think they said that that's one of the other things that you can do with the hockey players is they can figure out what the extra nuts and bolts are for.
Yeah.
So if you billet the hockey players, they'll help you out with that.
Put together a barbecue for you.
That's right. Exactly. Build the barbecue. Yeah, that's right.
And then lastly, coming up on October the 5th at the Social Center, Such Drama is doing the Roper Romp. Now, if you don't know about this or what it is, Mrs. Roper from Three's Company way back in the day, she loved wearing muumuus, like often Dave and I do when we're not on the show. And so it says right there, muumuus, music, and mingle. So this is going to be a fun fundraiser for Such coming up on October 5th at the Social Center, and you can reach out to Such for any information, and tickets are also on sale for that. So it's going to be, I think we have a DJ that we've brought into from he's some big name dude, can't remember who it is, but he'll be at the Roper Romp as well. Are you familiar with the DJ, Dave, for this event? Do you know what I'm talking about?
Is he? Are you saying big name or big guy? Because I think you might be referring to big guy. So it's a big guy DJ. I do know who that is.
Oh, sorry, you're right. Actually, it's Big Guy DJ.
Big Guy DJ.
Yeah, Big Guy DJ, who's also a big name. And so you're going to be hanging out, and I think it's going to be a lot of fun. So
we're doing karaoke and stuff, right?
Yeah. Absolutely.
Okay.
And suits. So it's going to be fun. Sorry, Candace, I muted you there for a second. Pardon my... I've unmuted you now. And then you can always obviously go to the Claresholm Local Press, their website, and you can see the monthly calendar and then what's coming up this week as well, just in case we've missed anything. And it's everyone's getting colds because it's back to school as well. So if you have a cold, you're not alone. Everyone's sick. You know what? Actually, this is perfect because if you are sick, where do you go? Anybody? If you're like, I need some vitamins.
To Janet's Fashions.
Yes, to Janet's Fashions in the corner of 50. I knew that was coming. I could see it in your eye. That's why he's a big name DJ. If you're feeling down, you're feeling chilly, you can go to see one of our sponsors, Janet's Fashions. They've got men's and women's fashions. They've got footwear. They've got stuff for kids. Their fall stuff is in, and they might have some winter stuff coming in now as well to make you feel better. But if you are sneezing and coughing and you're not sure, you might need some tea, you can go and check out Claresholm Pharmacy, who's another one of our sponsors. They've got a great team of very friendly and prescribing pharmacists. They have a whole host of vitamins and minerals, and they have a small organic section as well in their store, so you can go and find some stuff to make you feel better. And then if you just want some balloons, you might need a Get Well card, or if your kid has lost all of their pens for school, you can go to see our friends at Your Dollar Store with More. They're locally owned and operated, and they will be more than happy to help you out. They also have arts and crafts and a small electronics section as well. So if you're homesick and you're like, I got to tape The Price is Right on my VCR and I need a cable, you can go and see them, and they'll hook you up. So yeah, you're right, Dave. If you are feeling blue, go see Janet's Fashions. Just say, I've got the sniffles. But it is that season, unfortunately. It's back to school season. And
You imagine now as people see this and they go there just as a joke to bug the staff.
I'm
And
sure
they-
they'll know why.
Well,
where it came
Dave
from.
told me to come here. Tell
Yep.
you when I'm sick.
Yep. I'm not feeling good. Hilarious. So that's what we have going on in Claresholm this coming up in the next week or so. How's things in Nanton? Dave?
Things are going well in Nanton. We've got on our show tomorrow. Of course, it's coming that season that the sticks are coming out, the pucks are going to be dropped, the skates are being put on. So
Yep.
we've got the hockey team that's going to be on. They're doing some sort of golf tournament tomorrow, so we're going to be actually having them join us from their golf tournament.
Oh, that's cool.
So yeah, so we're going to talk to them, and there's some exciting news from them. So I'm excited to get them on and talk about what's going on with the team this year.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
All right. I like you're the keeper of the secrets.
Yep.
Which won't be a secret
It
tomorrow.
won't be a secret for long. Yeah, that's right.
So your show's on tomorrow, 10:30 to 11:30. Good morning, Nanton Live. You can tune in and find out the secret of the team.
That's right.
Or the things that are happening with the team.
I think we can. There we go. Right there. Saturday mornings, 10:30 to 11:30.
10:30
And it's not just on social media anymore. It's on the Hub Nanton Radio now too.
which is awesome.
That is awesome.
Very cool. So we it's a shorter show today. We kind of got through what we needed to in record time. I know. But we've got some big guests booked for and we have a big DJ, or big guy DJ next week as well.
The DJ Big Guy.
DJ Big Guy. That would be good. I like that. Do you have
There you
you
go.
ever had a stage name? Like have you ever gone under a stage name or
Yeah. I had a handle, and I always people ask me because I run a DJ school, and everybody is like, "How do you figure out what your DJ name is going to be?"
Yeah.
And I say, "You don't you get it organically." So I was working for the Vibe 98.5.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
And I was doing the Whiskey nightclub one night, and we were live from the Whiskey nightclub, and somebody came up to me, and I can remember exactly the moment this happened, and he said, "Oh man, you're wrecking the dance floor," in a positive way, of course. "You're wrecking the dance floor. What are you, DJ Damage or something?" I'd never had really a DJ name before that.
That's good.
So that stuck, and now organically I was
DJ
known as DJ Damage.
No kidding.
And then as I got older, and speaking of getting older, I got my 50th birthday coming up here in October 15th. So everybody's so October 17th, we're inviting everybody to come and celebrate my 50th birthday. It's Thursday night.
Yep.
And we're going to do it in Calgary because I'm going to be doing music bingo at Hudson's in Shaughnessy. So Hudson's Pub.
Oh.
So we're going to have a 50th, and that's, I wanted to do that because that's my happy place, right?
Yeah.
Performing and doing so I thought, okay, that's perfect, so let's get together. But as I was reaching 50, DJ Damage just didn't seem to fit anymore.
It's like your knee and back.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
More though, it goes the other way.
It goes the other way.
I think it definitely works. Yeah.
Oh, you think
use
so?
it. I do.
Well, somebody organically, because I love to do something called hitting posts. So when you hit a post, it's like a song leads up to the lyrics, and that instrumental part you talk over top of. And then right before they start the lyrics in the song, you stop talking. You introduce the song, you stop talking. They do it in radio all the time. It's called hitting the post. So somebody came up to me knowing that I love to hit posts when I was doing my music bingo, and he said, What are you, Postman Dave? And I went, there you go. There's that's my new the new generation of my entertainment names. So Postman Dave.
Nice.
There you go.
I think it's great. That's
got
awesome. Done. Well, I like so Postman Dave is the more updated.
That's the updated old man version. That's right.
The old man version. DJ, I get out of a chair slowly.
That's
That's right. You get your DJ name kind of like from the community, like
exactly.
One day,
exactly.
You just hope it sticks.
So yeah, I'm hoping that we can maybe you and I can do the show or something, like record the show, part of the show from Hudson's on the 17th of October while we're doing music bingo.
I love it. That's fun. That's cool.
That is fun.
Gosh, look at you. That's a big milestone. We'll have some celebrations.
Let's have some celebrations. Let's do it.
Absolutely. Cool. All right. Well, unless we've missed anything, Candace, thank you again for joining us. And Real Strength Gym, if people are looking, I should maybe end with this because we should really talk about it. If folks are looking for a I don't know, a gym membership, maybe some help. They're maybe new to the gym and they're not quite sure what everything does, or maybe you've been there a while and you're still not sure what everything does. You offer personal training and coaching
Mhm.
as well. So, how can folks reach it? What's the best way to reach you if people are looking for some help?
I have Facebook, Instagram, my phone number, so it's always with me. It's a cell phone. It's probably the best way. Text, you can email.
Wow.
Yeah, I have some. This is exciting. We have some new technology and cardio equipment coming in a couple
Oh,
weeks.
Hmm.
That's kind of layer availability for not only coaching but your user experience. So we have built a relationship with Free Motion. And they have this really great technology where they have these interactive screens. The programming is called iFit. There's 18,000 training videos. They worked with over 250 trainers. And I mean, they did segmented segments climbing Mount Everest. So you get to experience doing a mountain climb with in real time, with not in real time. Sorry, they were filmed live doing it. So you get to experience
Mhm.
that. There's the one example they gave. I'm a pretty big nerd, but it's an Egyptologist walking through the Egypt, through all the pyramids and all of the everything there, and giving you a history lesson while you are walking on your treadmill with him. So that's going to be
wow.
coming in a few weeks, and I could not be more excited. Just to give people a reason to be active, and
Yeah.
I think it's going to be pretty cool. So
And this is a
Nice.
treadmill ultimately is the physical portion of it, like it's a walking or running or climbing all on a flat plane.
there is, I have a treadmill, an elliptical, recumbent bike, and it's called a coach bike. So it's like a spin bike. So not only can you do like trails, and the bike and the treadmill are interactive. So if your grade changes in the hike, they will adapt with you
Oh
for
wow.
like with the trail. There's also thousands of videos of just fitness classes. So you can do a full spin class. There's
Hmm.
within the app too, there's mental health talks, educational talks. They told me how much they spent like developing this, and it was a pretty intense number. So it's
Hmm.
actually they
Imagine.
have put a lot of effort and thought and intent into health and well-being into one app that it's not just for use at the gym. You can use it anywhere. You don't have to use it at all, that everything will work and you can
Right.
access whatever videos you want.
Wow.
Um, yeah, I'm really, really excited. So
That's
So
cool.
uh,
we'll have to do a little more focus on that when it comes then.
That's very
yeah,
cool.
Yeah.
Okay.
so
Cool.
I
Perfect.
know it's very exciting.
No,
Good.
can you get the show on the app? Can we put Connecting Claresholm on the treadmill so that you could, maybe they'll
I'll
You know
start
what?
working out.
So they worked with Google Maps. This is fun.
Really?
So if you like wanted to take a stroll around Nanton,
Mhm.
it they've like
Really?
got you want to walk around Central Park in New York, you can. Like, and
Oh,
people are around you talking, like on the screen you can see them
Yeah.
talking. Yeah, they have a partnership with Google Maps as well. So
No kidding.
uh,
so okay. So okay, I get it.
That's
But
really
yeah,
cool.
but you got to do that on the machine because you don't
yeah,
want to be walking into the side of the drugstore,
Right.
as you're trying to walk down
walk down the street with your
yeah, walk
so
down
many
the
people
street.
do that.
Yeah.
I know. I have a 5 a.m. client on Monday to Friday. I have early morning clients. There's always this lady at 4:45 in the dark walking down the road staring at her cell phone. And I'm like, what? How are you doing that? And I've never seen her fall. So, I
Well,
mean, it's a skill set.
as long as you keep putting your shoe on left first, everything's going to be fine.
The world is safe. We're
Yeah.
fine.
Kurt says I need to work on my 6-pack stuck in my 1-pack belly.
Come on down, Kurt.
Good. He's like
Come on.
DJ dad jokes today. That's good. Those are
He's
good.
DJ dad jokes. That's right.
That's good. Those are clever. Oh, that's funny. Awesome. Well, no, I'm excited to find out more about that when it arrives. We'll definitely be keeping up to date with that, with those pieces of equipment and that technology. That's pretty awesome.
It is
Perfect.
exciting. I know. Technology's scary, but
I know.
it's
We were talking about that earlier.
Awesome.
Okay.
All right, folks. Well, have
Nice.
a really good weekend, everybody.
Yes.
Thanks, Candace, for joining us, and we'll be
very much.
back next week, same time, and then be sure to join Dave tomorrow at 10:30 on Good Morning Nanton Live.
Thanks, guys.
Yay.
Have a good weekend.
Thank you.
See ya.
Happy
Bye.
weekend.
Bye.
See ya.